then all of a sudden it's like, you thought you were excited before? Yeah? Well, now Keanu Reeves is going to be in it. You're like, Keanu Reeves, he's the coolest guy in the world. Oh my God, it's going to be Keanu Reeves' cock. I can't wait for Keanu Reeves' cock to be digitally flopping in front of me. Oh, by the way, to all of you who love cock, who love giant penises, flaccid penises, enormous penises, or to some of you who love vag, or maybe all of you who love vag, if you enjoy the gigantic vag, the tight vag, the fallopian vag, then this is news for you. Cyberpunk is a huge piece of shit. It's just a massive pile of garbage. If you own a PS4, again, it's kind of like care a little bit less about people with PS4s, which seems odd because there's a lot more people with PS4s than there are people with PS5s. Like, does anyone beside Hassan have a PS5? Does anyone here in chat have a PS5? Be real, all right? And don't lie. I'll know if you're lying. I can tell every time. I have a PS4. Yeah, same, Jeff. Got one. I think you're lying. Mega Death Clock 76. Oh no, but that's a really good cartoon. You wouldn't lie. Not with a reference like that. God damn. PS4 Pro. I'm a PC gamer. I got rid of my PS4 a long time ago. Why? Why would you get rid of it? I feel like a PS5 is a mythical object people talk about, but still no one has one. Well, I mean, if you have a pretty high-end PC with a pretty fast graphics card, you have a PS5. I've seen the PS5 in action in a Best Buy, and I've seen the Cyberpunk on it, and it looks the exact same as if you have a high-end PC and you run the Cyberpunk on it. They look identical. I couldn't really tell a big difference. But anyways, Sony removed Cyberpunk 2077 from the PlayStation Store, offers refunds to customers. You know, maybe I should change my title to Jimquisition. Well, this is TOS, right? I'm allowed to use the word cock. I could spell it like cock, as in I need to caulk the walls in order for them to stick together. Well, that one still sounds bad. Mark Monkey, I have Schrodinger's PS5. I have one as long as I don't acknowledge that I don't. Oh, I like that. That's good. So, this is wild. We talked a little bit about Cyberpunk 2077. Some of you may know that I've worked in the film industry in Vancouver, and I've worked firsthand in the crunch. So I can tell you a little bit about the crunch, and it sucks. It's the worst. It's just taint from start to finish. It's awful. It's terrible. You really do feel like a cog in a machine when you're basically being told not to do anything outside of what we tell you until the thing that we want to have happen happens. Now, a lot of people probably wonder, how does the crunch even occur? I mean, how can people be so unable to manage their time? Why do they mismanage their time? Why does the whole house of cards fall apart? Why are we forcing low-level employees to work well beyond what is supposed to be humanly possible? Sometimes on graphic details, like viscera, like how the people who worked on Mortal Kombat, the latest Mortal Kombat game, had PTSD. Because they spent all day doing 3D realistic graphics of guts and innards spraying on each other. So to the point where they actually started seeing that within the dogs and animals in their homes. They said they would go home and they would see all the viscera, and it was a horrifying thing. And the crunch. Anyways, the reason being is that sometimes people separate, I think, art, and yes, video games are art. Video games are the future. But sometimes they separate art from the financial side of things. Because working in the film industry, I can tell you this. The art starts and or stops where the producer comes in and says, this is what's going to happen and this is how we're going to do it. Because that's just it. These are products at the end of the day. This is all under capitalism. These are commodities. And because they're commodities, they need to produce the monies. Because they need to produce the monies, there are certain guides and things that let's just say hoops that people jump through. In the case of video game programmers and creators and designers, well, the hoops happen to be that you might have been working on this wonderful indie project that you got a great old sponsorship from. Say you're the designer of Cuphead, and all of a sudden you get all this money, and you're like, sweet, oh, nice, I'm looking forward to this. I get to live my dreams. I'm going to make Cuphead. And like, yeah, totally. Yeah, Microsoft is behind you now. You have all the power, the endless power, Bill Gates. All of a sudden, they're like, hey, by the way, a couple months in, we did some product testing. You're like, product testing? You're like, yeah, product testing. It's where complete strangers who you don't know and you've never heard of before, they're going to go behind in this room, and we're going to show them stuff that you've given us. It's like, I didn't sign up for that. I also didn't give you permission. It's like, oh, no. You gave us all the permission. You see, when we gave you the monies to make this game, you signed some parchment with some ink, and now because of that, we own you. Like, we own your ace, and we own everything. And so, yes, we've been showing the work that you've been working on to strangers who have now told us they don't like what you're doing. And you're like, okay, so we're gonna need you to change that main character you made from a cup to a biscuit. And if you don't do that, well, then the money's gonna stop coming in. Because that's the contracts you signed. So this is what you're gonna have to do. So now you got to go back and you got to go to your team. You got to be like, well, we're changing the entire graphic scheme. He's no longer Cuphead, he's Biscuit Head. And like, well, that doesn't really make sense. We were kind of doing a whole. I know, but the strangers in the other room told me that apparently they don't like it. It makes them uncomfortable. They don't like to be reminded of cups. They would rather be reminded of soft, warm biscuits. So just can you redo all the graphics you've already, all the work you've done? We just do them again. Okay, well, I mean, we have the work that we already had. Like, we have to make the next level in the game and the new bosses and the assets and the music and stuff like that. So that's what we were going to be doing instead. He's like, okay, well, here's another idea. How about instead of sleeping or even really eating human meals, what I would like you to do is then just keep working. When you would normally stop doing work, don't. Try that. Try not stopping, going and then working for many hours up into the night. Don't see your friends, your family, nothing. Like I said, I own you. I own your ace because they own my ace. And so there's many ace on the line here. All right. So all from high on down, this is the problem we're facing. So now do both those things. The word we have for this experience is called the crunch. That's the crunch. That's the crunch in a nutshell. That's why it happens. Because of that, games like Cyberpunk 2077, which are built so much on hype. I mean, how long have you been waiting for this game? All of us have been waiting for this game. Years, right? It's just like, when is Cyberpunk 2077 going to come along? I can't wait. There's going to be so many different kinds of cock, and we're going to be able to increase or decrease their size, and like, it's going to blow away all these. It's going to destroy gender binary as we know it. It's going to be revolutionary. I can't wait. Every single year that goes by, more previews, and then all of a sudden it's like, I thought you were excited before. Yeah? Well, now Keanu Reeves is going to be in it. You're like, Keanu Reeves, he's the coolest guy in the world. Oh my god. It's going to be Keanu Reeves' cock. I can't wait for Keanu Reeves' cock to be digitally flopping in front of me. By the way, I haven't got that far in the game. I don't know if that's actually accurate. If it is accurate, I'm going to continue to play the game into the end of days. Sorry, long story short, they rush a couple things, all right? They have to. That's just the nature of the biz. They clearly want the next gens to be pretty and presentable. So PS5s, right? They run very smoothly with these incredibly high, let's just say demanding games now. These 80 gigabyte games that we play. The reason these games are so large in scope and size and everything is, of course, because you have enormous teams working on them. They're millions and millions of dollars to produce. And then there's hundreds and hundreds, if not thousands of individuals sometimes working on a single title. Because, again, these are products. You got to remember, these are products under the capitalist system. We don't share resources with other studios. So if you have a studio, you sometimes even have a proprietary code. Like, some studios like to design their own game code from scratch instead of utilizing one that's already made, like Unreal Engine or something like that. But anyways, we don't share our resources. We certainly don't share our graphic resources. We don't share our franchises. We don't share our music. We don't share anything. This all has to be made from scratch. So with each iteration, with each new generation, with each massive scale game like Cyberpunk 2077, you need a whole bunch of people who are going to be able to design things like grass, like leaves, like dirt, like tree bark textures. Like, you don't think about it when you're walking around this magical world because it's so beautiful and it's so gorgeous. But man, is there a lot of labor, a lot of hours behind computers, rendering, designing, a lot of graphics work. Just get some graphics on the screen so y'all can be like, yeah, okay, now I see some of it.
Cyberpunk 2077.
No, I'm doing the talking. I'm just going to be stealing your video, sir. Oh, but you're very, very bleak footage. Bleak footage you take. And another thing that really grinds my gears is that all these reviews of Cyberpunk 2077, they're all focused on like, but the game is glitchy. My experience is not optimal. I would prefer a better gaming experience, sir. When it should be really focused on the fact that, like, you understand workers are getting just grinded into dust. And to the point that they have to rush these titles out. They don't optimize things for PS4 because PS4 is very old hardware to run something of this scale. So it looks and works like shit. And then now it's gone to the point where Sony's like, yeah, we're yanking it. We're pulling it off the shelves. We're done. But again, even here, where you're looking through, you're like, you know, it's someone's job to do road. It's someone's job to do this gravel. It's someone's job to do that plant. It's someone's job to do these leaf textures. It's someone's job to assemble that. It's another person's job to just aesthetically put that all together. Like, someone just takes all the resources and then kind of acts like a little puppet master and puts them in there. And like, this, so much work goes into making these. This is why they're such enormous scale games. There's so much grandeur. You can taste the human suffering. It's still buggy on PS5? Really? Oh, wow. Is PC the only version that actually works half decent?
What lies around the corner? Never knowing who's going to kill you. Are you the next one to be murked? You never know if it's a friend or a foe. If you want to see the biggest names in BreadTube and Left Twitch and Butterthing and I don't know the fucking names anymore, come see Left Among Us.
If you want us to advertise your channel or work, please go to weareserfs.com and email us a 20 to 30 second ad, and we'll take it on to the end of one of our videos to help promote your leftist channel or progressive something. Whatever you do.
To our God, I'm Raft, Xander Corvus, and Schlatsky, we shall commit blood sacrifices in your honor. To our monarch, Tom Spiker, our lives are yours to command. To our lords, Jeffrey Lamb, Trevor R., Stephen, Hans Josephine, Poppy Nelson, Ryan Lubin, Jimothy K. Meeblebeeps Jr., we bow meekly for your pleasure. To our knights of the round table, Josh Mickelson, Dylan Bythe, Zach Christensen, Todd Buckingham, Todd Lajeunesse, Political Puppy, Jimmy Bignuts, Andreas Chitoro, Good Poon Hates Cops, That's Solid Poon Then, Dr. Zayas, Yoppy, Violent Orchard, Sophie Baby, Jack Darko, Thomas Barretton, J. Fraser Cartwright, Goofalankius, Melissa Murphy, Nicholas Marks, Alexander Thaler, Ali Rada Jaffer, Alex Gauvin, Radical Maniac, we salute you.